What's up YouTube, it's Louis here. I hope you're all well. We're looking at Hbar today on the daily time frame, and wow, what crazy turn of events, because if you actually remember in the last Hbar video we were talking about the potential drop back down to the 20 EMA, and we can actually see that it did not do so. It almost came back down. We were, if you remember from the thumbnail, expecting a dump back to the 20 or all the way back down to the 382. Well, in actual fact, all I meant is that we cannot lose the 382. I will explain why, and we could still actually be coming back down to this price in the near future after returning to these resistances. We can still get rejected and return to these prices that we've seen in the past, and the reason is because as we were dumping over here, we came back into this previous support which we were holding for a good month over here. We found it in November, we left it in December, and we put a new lower low before coming back into this old support, 1 month support, and flipping it into resistance. So you made a new low over here, and with that you've come down and you've reclaimed that. So of course that would be nice to see retested. It does not need to be retested, but again, because you reclaimed this once support, should have been resistance, it was reclaimed. So the expectation is this is now support. Support, in other words, is just bottom. So this is now our bottom. We cannot go below this. Why? Because it's the bottom. If it's not going below, it is the bottom, and if it is going below, it's not the bottom. Do you understand? So if it's not the bottom, it's not support. So if you're falling through this like butter, we're going down back to the one below. So this is why it is support. We've reclaimed it. The expectation is if we ever fall back to it, this is support. In other words, this is the bottom. We should not go below this if we want to continue up. So as we continued up, we did not go below it. We started to get these bearish sticks over here. Lots of bullish momentum, but started to get hammered back down with the pressure from the 55 EMA, which is like our double brick wall, trying to keep us in this downtrend. We had a doji or spinning top. That's up to argument. Yeah, you could say it's a spinning top holding the 618 as support, and this was our signal to push up, which we did so in with this bullish hammer over here, and we got this follow through with a lot of momentum yesterday. So we actually pushed through the 786. That's interesting, guys, because usually when I see this is a signal we want to continue to the 1 fib level when we are just looking at the fibs. But I must say, when we look into the left on the Binance chart, this is Hbar against dollar on the Binance exchange, and we do have this wick high over here, which we can see we're currently under. So this is something I need to see us push through. So go over on your charts, mark this out, 4.838 cents. We need to close a daily candle above that. Even go on the 15-minute time frame, wait for some consecutive 15-minute candle closes above that. That will signal our pump towards 4.9 cents. This is where I think that we're going to run into some key resistances, just because this is an area where we struggled with in the past. If you remember from this descending triangle, this was a trade I gave you in the last month over on Hbar. This was a descending triangle, and we had multiple rejections over here. This over here was a head and shoulders pattern on the 4-hour time frame, if you do remember, and it's very, very, very close to that wick. If we draw across, you can see that wick's coming here. So this area over here, this is where we're trapped under at the moment. You can draw it from the low all the way to the green area. This is a massive area of resistance going forward. So I would expect to struggle. If it's pushing through it like butter, we need to see it flipping into support, holding it as support. But for the moment, guys, what I would say is that this is eventually going to die off, and what we need to do to flip things completely bullish, and I've been saying it for a long while, is reclaim that FTX high where we capitulated. Unfortunately for Hbar, that's a little higher for Hbar compared to Bitcoin, compared to Ethereum, compared to some other altcoins. Hbar is a little bit lower in comparison to the FTX capitulation high, and that is over here around the, well, it actually did dump on the 8th of November, or 7th or 8th. No, it was the 8th over here on this red candle. But again, the high over here, we need to take out the high, and that's about 6.4 cents. So I need to see us reclaiming that. What is a good first step is us getting back above this golden pocket. So this needs to be held as support. So at some point we need to die off. Doesn't matter. It's just whenever you do start to see red candles and red candles flipping back into green candles, this is showing you we've now found support above the EMAs, and the EMAs are just saying if we're below, we're going down, if we're above, we're going up. So if we're finding support anywhere above the EMAs, we're going up. The next target of, we would say, if we're just looking at the fibs, is the 1 fib level, but we've deciphered that this is our true resistance, because in the past, if you remember, from about November, December time, we had this descending triangle that broke out midway through December, but it was accumulating at the end of November, and we saw some head and shoulder pattern over here on the 4-hour time frame. If you weren't here around then, let's head over to the 4-hour time frame there. Please do, of course, subscribe. We're almost at 5k. It's criminal that we're not there, guys, so do the help, and of course bump the algorithm by sharing, liking, and subscribe and commenting. But yeah, we can see that head and shoulders over here, shoulder, head, shoulder, and I've taught you guys in the past that the head is usually a fake out. This is our true resistance. Essentially, we can see we held it as resistance, we pushed through, came back under, pushed through, came back under. So we're having multiple fake outs in this area, but yeah, retesting it as resistance, eventually confirming it as resistance eventually. So this was our 4-hour time frame. But yeah, moving over back to the daily, let's go over to the 15-minute now and end off the video basically, guys. So over on the 15-minute time frame, I'm seeing from about, what's the date? Yeah, 13th. So about from yesterday, about 7:30 at night GMT, so that might be a little bit different for you. Get used to the GMT, guys. So add, of course, on your iPhone or Samsung on the world clock, add, of course, whatever time it is in London. And so with the high over here, measured it to the low. We just have to wait for it to actually start heading up. That's the only way we know it's the low. And so we draw our golden pocket, and it is red at the moment, just so you understand it's resistance, but we will make it gold. And so if we are pushing through this and turning it into support, it's not something that we really should be doing. When we do meet our low over here, you're meant to push into this and continue lower. Did we continue lower right there? No. So we are doing something where we've run into support once, run into support twice, and now we're heading back up. This is, for me, a double bottom or a W pattern. So if we are actually to break above this key resistance, then we're validating the W pattern, we're continuing to the target. And if I were to give you the target, remember this is very, very time sensitive. If you want to get the videos as early as possible, of course, check out the channel memberships. And yeah, the breakout over here above the 1 fib level, just at about 4.8 cent. Of course, it's not a lot in percentage wise, understand that, guys, but if you over here leveraging, of course, a 2% move with 10x leverage could be a 20% move, and this is well over what you're making on average in the stock market. If you simply type in stock market average returns, it's going to be about 10% a year. So if you could actually 10x this with some leverage, then of course you could be pulling out about 22% out of this with whatever your of course account is. Other than that, again, we need to see it flipped into support, break through that 786, break through the 1 fib level, and these would be our targets. Makes sense, because what is this green line? Go back to the daily time frame, and that is the resistance where we are expecting. So if we do see this daily candle close above the 786 fib, let me just get rid of this now, then we're expecting this continuation, as we just did that analysis, continuation to 4.98 cents, which is where we're expecting resistance, as we just did some 4-hour and 15-minute analysis proving so. So yeah, daily candle close above 786, you just seen the journey that we're going to take. Close below 786, we could be coming back down to these levels over here, 4.5 cents. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want me to teach you over this, hit that link underneath this video. All of you should hit that link underneath this video to head to my Twitter for more information. And yeah, for more information, just for more updates over on Twitter. Thank you guys so much. Private message me for the course or the mentorship, which is discounted over there. Peace.